Hi everyone, today I'll show you how to bleed the coolant and install a catch can into an Alfa Romeo Giulietta. So many people will tell you that Italian or European vehicles in general are very difficult to work on. I actually found this Alfa Romeo to be quite the opposite. Even doing the cam belt itself was rather easy, it just required a lot of labour. Now bleeding the coolant system in this was one of the easiest I've ever done in a car. It's even easier than burping the coolant in a Japanese vehicle. So down here we've got this twist screw. All you have to do is undo this. It's quite a long bolt. I'm not going to do it now because I've already bled the system. Undo it until the coolant flows out through there, and then close it back up, start the car up, idle it for about 10 minutes, and do the usual rev to 4,000 RPM for 30 seconds process. So it's all pretty straightforward. Once you've let it warm up for all that time, all you have to do next is jump over to your overflow bottle here, unscrew the cap, and it will be pressurized. Make sure you do it while the engine's cooled down. And because this is the highest point of the engine, gravity makes the coolant flow downwards into the engine itself. All the hot air, which would have been forced out when the engine was warmed up, would go up through the system and into the reservoir bottle. And that is really it. There's nothing more to it. So although the cam belt swap was relatively straightforward, there was one issue which I faced, which is that this plastic recirculation valve for the blow-by actually snapped, and this is a difficult part to find, at least here in New Zealand. So what I've decided to do is bung it off and cover it with electrical tape for good measure and install an oil catch can. So I tried finding a place which has some vertical bolts, but the only place I found was behind the headlight or behind the reservoir, but that had terrible access, so I opted for the battery holder. This seems good for now. The bolts included in the kit were absolute rubbish. What were they even thinking, making them that long? They're just way too long, so I had to use one of the bolts for the brace for the catch can, and I routed the line just below this lip above the radiator. You'll notice that it's also venting to atmosphere. A lot of people say not to do it, but since I've had this in the car's been running fine, it's got no issues, so do whatever you want. So that is how to correctly bleed your coolant and install a catch can into an Alfa Romeo Giulietta QV. If you enjoyed the video, then please do like and subscribe, or not, I don't really care.